Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing the new Kim Petras album, Turn Off the Light. Kim Petras is a German pop star and EDM artist. This is the second studio album, actually the second to be released this year, a quick follow-up to Clarity, which is her debut album, has a fantastic song on it called Icy, one of the songs that introduced me to Kim. She has also worked with other artists like Cheat Codes, Sophie, and she has topped many Spotify charts with her 2017 single, I Don't Want It At All. On this new album, Kim switches her focus to spooky, groovy, and high-gloss synthwave production. She recruited Dr. Luke to produce all of these songs here, a controversial producer because of his lawsuit against Kesha. We're going to do our best to separate the art from the artist today. And when it comes to the art of Turn Off the Light, this is an extension to an EP that was already released in 2018. Turn Off the Light EP, Turn Off the Light Volume 1, whatever you want to call it, that came out last year, and many of the same songs are featured on this extension here. In fact, tracks 9 through 16 are identical. And if you haven't clued in at this point with the album artwork looking that scary, this is a project that focuses on Halloween, and obviously you gotta think, well, what is the Halloween album gonna do for me when it's no longer Halloween? Well, I'd have to say that this album has a lot more going for it that will make it worth listening to after Halloween is over. And I would say that boils down to the pop sensibility on this album. There are lots of pop hooks on here. Enough of a pop sensibility that this record could be enjoyed year-round. Now with that said, we know that the lyrics are going to remain pretty bloody, morbid, and dark. 3 songs that make this album that much more cohesive compared to its EP counterpart from 2018. Those 3 songs are There Will Be Blood, Massacre, and Tell Me It's a Nightmare. I feel like these are a trilogy of tracks that really help the listener dive into a pretty cohesive story. On the first part of this trilogy, what I'm calling a trilogy, There Will Be Blood, this kind of warns listeners about the danger that is coming. The danger arrives on the track Massacre, which is the second part of this trilogy. It talks about greed and wanting more blood. One more drip of blood won't be enough to satisfy. We're walking this shy or innocent person into the afterlife. And then on Tell Me It's a Nightmare, we have this relationship come crashing down, ultimately because of the possessive and greedy nature of the characters. Classic Halloween vibes can be heard on this album with the track In the Next Life, where we have these spooky ghosts lingering in the background. Vibrato vocals that are heavily processed can be found on this track as well. There are plenty of towering and powerful vocals from Kim on this album all around. And her vocal style, to me, it really just sounds like a mix of Sleater Kinney with Charlie XCX, Dorian Electra, and Tory Lanez. A touch of this auto-tune with cool, distant, and icy cold delivery. A couple of the accessible songs on this album, a good starting point to listen to Kim Petras. The songs are Close Your Eyes and There Will Be Blood. These kind of act as like the Deadmau5 bangers, if you know ghosts and stuff. The title track and Knives maintain the Halloween theme going for this project. Turn Off the Light actually takes heavy inspiration from Vincent Price's spoken word skit on Michael Jackson's Thriller, and it might give it a run for its money, although not as rooted in music and pop culture. Kim, on this album, she has a good idea of what makes an album so cohesive. She has tracks on here that transition into another one. I think of songs like Omen, Purgatory, and TRANSylvania. We have those classic Halloween film ominous keys or howls, doom-filled drums before like this club beat comes in, and perfect puns on TRANSylvania as Kim was subject to a gender reassignment surgery as a teenager. Certainly this album could go to darker places than it does, but the techno and menacing beats along with the fun pop edge, that makes it a thriller. Kim Petras, she embodied the Halloween spirit on this project, and it makes me excited for this holiday season more than any of them in the past few years. I'm feeling a 7 out of 10 on this album. There were a few tracks that just are underwhelming with their choruses. This is also a record that is easy to come back to. I've played it a lot, and no doubt because of Halloween coming up, but I'm hoping that will also be something I play after. Gonna leave it at that. There's the review of the new Kim Petras album. Sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this music. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a rockin' day.